Alright folks, welcome to the channel. My name is Jason. Today is Friday, August 2nd already. Can you believe it? July just kind of flew by. So today I'm going to be doing a little video on punch cutters. You know, some of my videos that I've done over the past couple weeks, they've been kind of geared towards cigar cutters because I get a lot of questions on Instagram about different cutters, and then I got one about a punch cutter not I don't know, 2-3 days ago, I guess. And so I figured I'd do a video on that. I'm no expert again by any means, but I do have a lot of experience with different cutters because I worked in a cigar shop for a really long time. So I wanted to do a video about that. But there's many ways to cut a cigar. If you've been into cigars for any length of time, as you know, there's a guillotine cut, there's a V cut, and there's also the punch cut. And so what I wanted to do was kind of go into the punch cut, how it works. You know, what size ring gauges, cigars you should use it on, and you know, basically the kind of ins and outs of a punch cutter. And again, this is just a way to cut a cigar. It's not the way, it's just a way, which is kind of why I wanted to talk about it. So what is a punch cutter? Well, basically it's kind of a cylindrical device such as this right here, and mine is attached to my lighter, and I bought it for that particular reason because there's a punch, it's a lighter, and you just grab a cigar and you're good to go. But they come in different sizes, and I believe this is a 9mm if I remember correctly, and I believe there's also a 7mm one. This is the one I prefer, and it's really important also as well to make sure that your cutter is sharp, and also there's no remnants of a previous cigar that you've cut inside of there, which could, you know, potentially block airflow from coming out of a cigar that you've punched. So it's unlike guillotine cutters, which I'm sure if you've been in cigars, maybe you're new to cigars, that you know a guillotine cutter just cuts off a top portion of the cigar, whereas a punch just actually kind of drives down into the center of the cigar and pulls out a little piece, and you have, you know, a little hole in the cigar, which basically what it does is it concentrates the airflow into that little hole right there coming out of that spot. And now there's some advantages, you know, to doing that. You know, you can't, you know, using a punch, if you, provided you punch the cigar correctly, the cigar won't come unraveled. You can't really go, you know, you can't really punch too far into a cigar to cause any type of airflow issues. Whereas like a guillotine cut, you know, if you cut the cigar wrong, you can cause the cigar to unravel. Now a cigar can unravel if you use a punch incorrectly. For example, if you cut the cigar, if you punch the cigar too far on the sides, you know, it can cause the cigar to unravel. But again, like I said, there's advantages and disadvantages to using everything, but a punch is super simple to do. So what I'm going to do is I got some cigars here. I wanted to kind of show you what types of cigars you should use a punch on and what types of cigars you should not use a punch on. So let's get into that. So I have a cigar here. This is the Julius Caesar. This is by one of my sponsors. This is from J.C. Newman. So this actually has a tapered end on it, if you can see that right there. Hopefully you can. Actually, I'll just open up the cigar. I'm going to end up smoking it anyway at some point. So let me kind of show you what I mean by that. So this cigar has a tapered end on it, as you can see right there. Almost kind of like a cigar that's kind of like a, you know, another one that wouldn't work would be like a torpedo, for example. And you can see by putting this punch in there that that's not going to punch the cigar correctly. I wouldn't use that on a cigar like this. Another example of that would be a cigar like this. This is from Napa Cigars, the store I used to work at. And again, this, I wouldn't punch this cigar because you can see that that's not really going to work like that. You're going to end up wrecking your cigar and it's going to end up unraveling. That's another example of a size that I would not use a punch on. So I got another cigar here that I would use a punch on. So here's a Monte Cristo right here, which is just a you know, regular cigar. And here's another one which I would use this on. This is more like a Gordo size, and you know, whereas this is a Toro size right here. I thought my cigar was wet on the inside right there. Like, how did water get in there? But this is a Toro size. This is more like a Gordo size. So let me show you how the punch works. It's very, very simple. So the first thing you want to do is obviously make sure your cigar is, or your punch cutter is sharp. That's probably one of the main things, because if your punch cutter is not sharp and you know, try and cut into the cigar, it's going to basically just crush the end of the cigar. So it's very simple. So all you're going to want to do is just take the punch right here. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm just going to kind of line it up right here in the center, and I'm just going to kind of push down, and I'm just going to kind of twist as I'm going along. So hopefully y'all can see that. So there it is, a little movement. And if I pull out just like that, now what you got is you got the hole right there. If you can see that, and then the rest of the cigar is right inside of there. So let me show you again. There's the punch, and there's the piece of the cigar in there. So let me show you kind of what that looks like. Hopefully I can get it out of here without having any issues. It's kind of coming out a little bit. I might have to get a tool and kind of pull that out of there. Let me go grab something and I'll pull this piece out of there so you all can see it. All right, I'm back. So I grabbed something here to pull this out because I just kind of want to show you what that piece in there looks like. If I can get it out here without wrecking this thing, because I don't want to ruin the piece, because I want everybody to see that. So basically here it comes right now. Oh, it was coming out. It's just a little tiny piece of the cigar, and there it is right there slowly. So that's it. That's basically all the punch was. It just pulled that little piece out of there with a little bit as the cigar was going in there, and there's your punch. So that's basically how a cigar punch works. Again, like I said, there's many different kinds of punches you can get. This one is attached to my cigar lighter. There's some you can get. Cigar makes great punches that are you can attach to your keychains, and there's a bunch of other manufacturers that make cigar punches. I will caution you though to get a punch cutter that is, you know, from a reputable place. Make sure that it's sharp. Make sure it's, you know, it's not any type of a cheap, you know, metal on there, because what'll happen is it might work the first few times, but after that it'll start getting dull really quickly. I've had this lighter, like I mentioned in another video, for probably 10 years. I've never sharpened that punch once, and I've used it I don't know how many times to punch a cigar, and it's always remained sharp. And this is a jet line, so I'll show you that right there. This was a lighter that my wife had bought for me, and again, I'll show you this right here. It's got a few different, you know, punch sizes on there. I think that's a 7mm and that's a 9. I'm not 100% certain on that, but again, it'll give you 2 different sizes to punch your cigar with. I personally wouldn't use the smaller size on a cigar because I think the airflow might not be enough. Again, that's just my opinion. I would honestly just use a bigger punch size as far as, you know, punching your cigar goes. And again, I prefer to have my punch on a lighter just because I only have to carry one thing with me, because you got a punch on there, you got a lighter, all you need is just a cigar and you're good to go. So, and it's just a preference. So really quickly, so again, advantages of punching a cigar, you know, you're going to preserve the wrapper. It's not, you know, there's really no way for you to, you know, have the cigar unravel on you just from punching a cigar, unless you punch it, you know, off center. That could cause that. Again, portability, it's just, all I'm doing is carrying just a lighter around with me, and the punch is inside of there, and it's easy. That's probably the main thing. You're just basically taking the punch, putting it in there, pulling it out, and you've cut your cigar. So I mean, that's pretty much it. And there are, like I said, there are a couple things you want to avoid. Definitely, you know, off center. You don't want to punch your cigar off center, and you know, don't use it on a cigar such as, you know, the ones that I've showed you before, because again, it's not even going to work. I wouldn't even bother doing that. It's just going to wreck your cigar. And that's pretty much it. Those are the basics of cigar, you know, of a cigar punch. It's pretty easy to do, and again, it's something that I believe is a preference amongst cigar smokers, whether you're using a guillotine, a V cutter, or a punch. There's really no wrong way to cut a cigar as long as you know, do it correctly, I guess, if that's kind of the word I'm looking for. So anyway, if you have any questions about the punch cutter, about, you know, anything that I've mentioned in this video, about anything you've seen in any past videos or any videos you want to see in the future, please let me know. Leave in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel. I really hope you enjoyed the video on the cigar punch. Again, it's not just for beginners. Maybe there's people who've been smoking cigars for a while who've never used the cigar punch, and it's a very simple task to do. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, folks.